Welcome in, everybody. Ty Bartel in with another edition of Coach's Corner. As this time we head over to our friends from Leavittsburg. The head coach of the LaBrae Vikings girls basketball team, Mandy Rowe, joins me today. Coach Rowe, how are we doing?
Doing great. Thanks for having me.
Well, thanks for joining me once again for another year of basketball at LaBrae. I'm excited for this Vikings team this year. I really think you guys are going to be able to compete for the top spot in that conference. It's scrimmage season, it's practice season right now. What stood out to you from the girls, though, and what you've seen from practices and scrimmages if you've been able to get some in?
Yeah, we going all the way back to summer. We had an awesome summer. I could not keep the girls out of the gym. We went to a few different summer leagues. We had a consistent 10 to 12 girls there each time. They want to play, they want to get better, and it's always effort. There's never a complaint with their effort on the court. So leading into the season, we had a lot of girls back, all but one returning. So we were able to jump in quickly, get through a lot of things. A lot of small details is what we're focusing on this year. And just keeping the tempo and intensity really, really high and upbeat in practices.
When we talk about this team too, you mentioned a lot of returners. Why don't we do a sort of meet the team segment and introduce us to the LaBrae Vikings that we're going to see on the court this year?
Yeah, we have 14 total in the program. We have two seniors. Marissa Levinsky, she'll be a 4-year starter for us. She was thrown in as a freshman. It wasn't so easy for her. We've actually had a lot of freshmen that have played in our program, but she has grown her game. Her leadership skills are top notch. I tell the girls all the time, she's one you want to look up to because she does everything right. The most coachable kid you can ask for in the leadership department. So expecting big things out of her. And then we have Rain Baltima. She's been in our program all the way through. She's been just a great leader as well for the girls. She comes into practice every day, works hard, and just tries to push the younger girls to be better. Then we have 4 juniors. We have Mia Sloan, she's run the point for us the last couple of years. So we look for her to keep growing her game and her IQ and continuing her defensive effort and just seeing more things on the court with her passing and court awareness. Ella Kuzma comes back. She was our leading scorer last year. And we look for big things for her as well. She's just so athletic that with Ella, we're really stressing the defensive part of her game. So that's a work in progress, and she's coming along. So we'll see what she can do for us this year. We have Michaela Scruggs. She'll come in and give us solid minutes. She's a nice little guard for us, has worked hard in the off season. And then rounding out our juniors is Kendra Young. She has a great IQ. She's a hard worker, does the little things right. So seeing where she will fit in our big puzzle piece here. And then we go to our sophomores. We have 5 sophomores, 3 of them significant playing time last year. Our first one, Riley Rowe, she is probably I would say our highest IQ girl. She does all the things, the little things for us. She led us in rebounds as a freshman, I think 8.5 a game. She was second in scoring with 8 points per game, but she will always make the extra pass. So she might have a little bit of an open shot, but the next girl is going to have a wide open layup. She's given the ball up. So just very unselfish. Then we have Mariah Jones. I don't know. One of the strongest post players in the conference. She's strong. And she has been a force in practice. She's pushing the girls to be better. She's hard to defend. So looking for big time stats for her this year on the defensive end as well. I know she will make some girls uncomfortable this year. And then Angel Scruggs, she played some point for us last year. Looking to her to mature a little bit in the running the point and running the offense in the system. She's worked hard all summer. She was working out through the fall, so expecting big things from her. And then we have Megan Young and Brielle Stout, who will be some role players for us. They give us some size and some good shooting ability. And then I have one freshman, Allie Magulik. She had a good summer for us coming in from junior high. She's got to learn some intricate details to the varsity level. It's a faster game, but she has size, strength, and athleticism that she can bring to the table for us.
You guys play in, I think, one of the toughest conferences in the area as far as small school conferences are concerned. The MVAC grade tier is no joke. It feels like a gauntlet every night. It's not a give me game, no doubt. But I got to feel like, I mean, Crestview winners last year, but you guys were right there. And I feel like you guys played above for how young you were, what a lot of people were expecting. Would I be wrong to say that it's a realistic and a capable goal for you guys to grab the top spot conferences?
I mean, that's always a goal. That is our main goal this year, is to compete for that top spot. We played them well a half last year as freshmen, and then their press got us. So hoping a year of maturity for our young guards, hoping we can play with them and battle. They're a great squad. They have a lot of parts to take care of, but I don't know. I hope we can give it all we got and give it a shot.
What are some of the non-conference games that appear on the schedule that you're excited to kind of test the girls with as well, to try to sharpen iron?
So this year we really ramped our schedule up. I actually have so many new teams on our schedule that I have a lot of homework to do. I put some more work on me, but I think we need that because last year in our tournament game, I think that's a game we should have won, but I think the inexperience, and we didn't have a ton of games that put us in position to win that tournament game. So we traveled to Smithville, our first game. We're playing in their Barn Ball Classic, and they have a rich basketball program. Yep. So I know they have lost a couple girls, but I can guarantee that they're reloading again this year. So we go there. Then we have Niles, Cardinal, Middlefield. We see Lowellville. I know they're going to be a great squad. Their numbers are down this year, but they've got a good core back, and Lisa does a great job over there with them. We play Crestwood. I know they're good because we've seen them in the summer, and they're very well coached. So, and then we have Wyndham. Gerard's going to be, I think they'll be a sleeper team. They're physical and strong, so I think they'll give some teams some trouble. And then we have Mogador, our last game, and that's going to be a big one too.
Those are all competitive games too, and all, I mean, the schedule is up, no doubt. I'm excited for some of those matchups, just to see where you guys are at too, with that extra year of maturity now under your belts. When you're talking about the strengths that you're going to have to play to get your wins this year, what do you think the strengths of this team are, and what are some significant growth points that you saw from last year to this year?
Well, last year, I think we won most all of our games on just athleticism and just wearing teams down and scoring in transition. This year, our main focus is to win those. We went 17-6 last year, and I think 4 of those games could have went our way. They were by a bucket or two. And I think that if we executed and we were a little bit more patient offensively, if we got that extra rebound, if we made that defensive play or grabbed that loose ball, we talk about all those little details, that those things will help you win those close games.
You mentioned all the homework you need to do. I mean, Smithville's coming up on the schedule. Anytime you go into Wayne County, it's always good basketball down there. But I mean, you're balancing that. You're balancing being head coach of a basketball team. You're balancing being a teacher. You're balancing being a mom to Austin and Riley. I mean, how do you do it all? How do you time management, find time to be good at everything that you're doing?
Well, I don't like to sit, obviously. I like to stay busy. So if we get a Sunday at home and we're on the couch, I'm like, this is pretty boring. Let's go do something. We all like to be on the go. I have a lot of help. I've got good friends at school. I've got my coaching staff's great. And my 2 kids are pretty self-sufficient, so they kind of get it.
Why don't you shout out that coaching staff, give them some love, and let them know who is helping you with the LaBrae Vikings this year?
My JV coach, assistant, Rick Aldridge, he's been with me since I took over 8 years ago. He's great knowledge of the game. He sees those details. He tweaks a lot of things at practice. We'll run a play that we've ran for a long time, and then we'll see a little tweak. So we all kind of bounce ideas off of each other. What works last year, we might have to fix this year with our clientele. Just a wealth of knowledge he brings and can really break things down for us. And then our other assistant is my husband, Todd Rowe. He's the one that does all the fun drills, the shooting drills, the competitions. So he gets them going to start practice, and he kind of builds that energy. And then Rick and I can kind of break things down from the offensive or defensive standpoint. And then my junior high coaches I have back, thankfully, Jenna Repart and Alexis Huscroft, they'll be running my junior high. They were players for me. I was so happy. They started last year, and I was so glad that they decided they wanted to come back for another year. So really happy with my staff.
I really love how over the years that you've gotten to continue to build this program, and we're starting to see it really start, the foundations built, and we're starting to see you, I guess, figuratively build the house now on top of that foundation. When you talk about this and talk about the journey and how you've been able to do it, I got to feel like just being able to build those connections with kids too, to get the most out of your players, has been one of the keys to doing that. What's your secret to being able to connect with players, be able to get the most out of them?
I mean, it takes a village, and just solid parents and solid coaches around, staff members, and then the work ethic of the girls. I think they feed off of each other. So we've had our share of years where it hasn't been as easy, but when the girls come in and work hard and they want to win and they know what it feels like to win, I think it makes it that much easier.
When we look at this season too, one of my themes for basketball coaches this year is the lessons the game has taught you. You've taught, you're a teacher, so you've taught little kids, you've taught the sport of basketball. You're a teacher in multiple ways, but I actually want to know what the sport of basketball, what the biggest lesson it has taught you.
Well, I try to recruit those little girls in third grade on the playground. That's my first secret. No, I just think one of the big lessons that I like to instill is just do the little things right. Don't take shortcuts. And we use this at home all the time. Like, don't take a shortcut. Do it the right way, even if it's the hard way. Also, win or lose, we've lost a lot, and it's like, well, get better. What can you do to fix it? You're still gonna wake up. You're still going to go to school the next day. You're still going to go to work the next day. You're healthy. Look at all the good things. So don't dwell on a loss. Let's get better. Let's move on and pick things up.
That short-term memory too. All athletes need to be able
to. And I need that too. I need to remind myself that too. It took a lot of years to learn that lesson myself.
Just being able to
dwell on losses and like, let's go. Because I still dwell on our tournament loss last year, but it's like, we're going to fix things.
It's one of those things as a coach, I got to imagine you want it so bad for the girls, but until like you got to get them to want it too. And I'm sure that was a process too, of just trying to get them to want it as much as you wanted it yourself for them too.
Right.
So we're talking about this last question coming up. It's Thanksgiving time means girls and boys basketball in the high school realm, to me at least. It always kind of correlates with one another, always around the same time. So with that, shout out your first game. I know you mentioned your first game, but shout out, let the Leavittsburg community know why they need to support the girls this year, but also shout out your favorite Thanksgiving Day dish.
Oh, all right. So we open up at Smithville. That's about an hour and a half hike. So hoping that they have an NFHS camera, because I don't know how much support we'll get. Well, I know our parents will be there, but we have Niles coming up, so big support there. We're going to have some Friday games that hopefully, not sure how I feel about that, but Friday games, so hopefully we can draw a big crowd. The girls are going to be fun to watch, because if anything else, they're going to give you a hustle and effort. And my favorite Thanksgiving dish is not turkey or ham. I would have to, well, I love all the desserts, but corn casserole.
Corn casserole. That's a first vote for that. I'm going to have
my favorite.
Who makes it? Who makes it?
I make it.
You're the one who makes it.
My grandma's recipes. So
it's like it's got family ties in it, so it's got that nostalgia feel for you.
It's everyone's favorite. Right. I think everyone's favorite in my family. So really? I always have to bring the corn casserole.
One of the Rowe specialties, huh? Well, Coach, I'm so excited for this team this year. I'm so excited to see what the LaBrae Vikings are doing, continuing to grow. I know you were young last year, but they were still very talented, raw talented last year. So I'm excited for this year. I'm excited to see you guys compete for the top spot of that conference. And I think you're going to have a pretty good chance at it as well.
I hope so. Thanks for having me.
Anytime. First edition of Coach's Corner with Mandy Rowe from the LaBrae Vikings.